Portugal Internet Week 2010. De 10 a 17 de outubro, acompanhe as diversas iniciativas que vão tornar Portugal um caso de sucesso na economia digital. Mais informação em portugalinternetweek.com.
What I was asked to do was to speak to you a little bit about where education fits for the MMA as an organisation, and maybe share some of the challenges and the opportunities that exist in mobile marketing as they're faced by businesses. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about 5 challenges that I see businesses facing in mobile marketing and some of the answers to those things. And I'm going to talk maybe for 10 or 15 minutes at maximum. Okay. So the MMA is a global trade body. We have 750 members around the whole world. Our role is to try to make mobile an indispensable part of the marketing mix. And we do it through what we call the 5 building blocks of the industry. And those are to promote the industry, the channel and individual members, to educate people in every part of the system and the value chain, to measure what is being done in the industry, to provide reassurance that it works and how it works, to provide guidance for the industry so it works properly and everybody can work together, and to provide some kind of protection both for consumers and for our members and representations. And clearly education plays a large part of what we do. We consider it to be absolutely vital to the growth of our industry that we help everybody understand what the opportunities are in mobile marketing and how to reach those opportunities. So what I wanted to share with you then is kind of 5 key challenges that we are facing for businesses who want to use mobile marketing. The first of those is this. It does not grow, mobile marketing does not grow the same way everywhere in the world. It is simply not possible to look at one country and say, this is the way that mobile works. So for instance, we cannot just look at Japan or Korea and say, the way for Portugal to make mobile marketing work is to copy what they've done. Because things do not copy across so easily. There are some things that are common, but in many cases, what happens in mobile marketing is similar, but slightly different. There are cultural, economic and social reasons why things are different from country to country. Now, what is common are some of the things driving mobile marketing. So in many countries in the world, the idea of convergence, this is technology coming together. So many people talk in the mobile industry about the idea of mobile being the 7th mass media. That is to say, we have already been through the print revolution, the recording, through the cinema revolution, through television, through radio, and finally through the internet revolution. And our mobile is the 7th revolution globally that is becoming a mass media. And because mobile will do the things that the other technologies have done before it, all in one device, everything will converge or come together in one device. It's maybe an argument that works, but I think for the next 3 to 5 years it's much more likely that Portuguese businesses will find themselves using mobile to extend and enhance what they are already doing in other channels, not replace what they are doing in other channels. And there are marketing challenges, there are economic challenges, all of these things are building towards it. When handsets work better, you have iPhones and Android phones and things like this that mean we can do more with our handsets than we ever did before. These things mean that people reach into their pockets or into their purses or into their bags more readily to do things on their mobile phone. What everybody agrees with globally is the biggest driver of what is happening in mobile marketing is what we are doing as consumers. Mobile marketing and the mobile technology has changed the way consumers can react, and because of that has changed our expectations. And let me give you a very, very easy example to give you for everybody to understand this. 10 years ago, if I'm standing in a bar in Lisbon last night and I'm arguing with somebody about where Cristiano Ronaldo was born, 10 years ago I have to go home and look it up in a book. We ring each other up later and say, I was right, he's born here. Now I know I can know the answer in 30 seconds, even faster. I can put my hand in my pocket and I can click a few buttons on my mobile phone and I will have the answer. And we all know that's the case. And knowing that I can click and know, click and do, click and buy, changes my perception as a consumer. It changes my expectation of how I will work with and engage with brands and organizations. So it's consumer behavior that's the biggest driver. Last week we held an event in London. It's our biggest event of the year. Our opening 2 speakers on day 1 and day 2 from Coca-Cola and BMW, two of the world's biggest global brands, started. These are the opening words from the two speakers. They understand, big global brands and marketeers understand that mobile has fundamentally changed how brands and organizations have to work with consumers. Further than that, Unilever even stood up following these two speakers and said, because of the way that mobile has worked, because of the way social media works, because of the way digital works, a brand like Unilever, which owns hundreds of brands and operates in almost everywhere in the world, has had to change the way it works to match those challenges that mobile brings. They've created 10 new rules of how you engage with consumers, and these are those. So, answering that first challenge, which is mobile grows differently, yes, but what's common around the world is this. As consumers, we choose the channel that we want to use based upon convenience and need and control. And if you want to understand how to use mobile marketing for your own businesses or understand how consumers are going to use it here in Portugal, this is the first lesson to learn. Mobile is just an access point. The second challenge I'm looking at is the mobile industry loves to talk about technology. When you talk to mobile people, we like to talk about SMS and MMS and WAP and mobile internet and HTML5. We like to talk in a language that people don't understand. And one of the challenges that the MMA has in terms of education is to make us talk in the language that marketeers are talking. Because this is how people in marketing talk now. This is what they talk about. They talk about engagement and experience and relevance and treating people as individuals. This is how we want to be dealt with as consumers. So the challenge for mobile is to change not what it's doing, but the language it uses to describe it. And that change can only take place through education of everybody who's in the value chain. The third challenge is understanding this. I believe we have moved globally beyond a need for evangelizing mobile. We have moved from evangelism to education and execution. If you like, we have moved from the world of why to the world of how. Everybody in this room accepts that mobile is never going to go away. Everybody has a mobile phone in their pocket. The channel is not going to go away, but the challenge is, how do I use it? And where does it fit in the marketing mix if I'm going to use it? And the answer is very simple, in the same place that everything else in marketing fits. I've been working in marketing for 23 years. I have been working now in mobile for 8 years, and I consider myself to be a marketing man who has accidentally stumbled into the mobile world and stayed there. And every job I've had has made me do 5 things in marketing. Get new customers, keep them, get them to spend more often, and build my brand. Every job in marketing is to do those 5 things. And the task for mobile, and the task is achieved through education, is to understand what can mobile do in acquisition, retention, and brand building. The fourth challenge is, so if those things are possible, if it's possible to do acquisition, retention, and brand building, and that is the role that mobile can fit, what does it do differently? Well, if you remember, I said marketeers are talking about this, brands are talking about this. So the answer is to say, how can mobile help engagement for consumers? How can mobile help people to be social? How can mobile help with communities? How does mobile help to be interactive? And in fact, just asking the questions in some way, shape or form will give many people in this answer an idea of how to answer those, simply by posing the question the right way around. Rather than starting from a point of saying, how do I use this technology? If your starting point is to say, how do I use this tool to engage between my company, my organization, my brand with consumers? So you can do it through this way. And I'm going to quickly flick through 5 examples from different parts of the world. This is from Nigeria. One of the things that mobile does is allow people to act very quickly at the point of impulse. So this Nigerian campaign is for Guinness. I don't know if you have Guinness here in Portugal. Nigeria is the second biggest market in the world for Guinness. It's an extraordinary fact that they drink so much of this alcohol in Nigeria. And this is an on-pack promotion. So all it does is allow people to act at the point of impulse. If you think of what the point of advertising is, advertising is there to interrupt, to make you stop, think, listen, test, buy, visit. Advertising wants to make you do something. The fastest way you can react is to put your hand in your pocket, take out your phone, and text a word, or a number in this case, to a short code or a little 5-digit number. And then something happens. It's the and then something happens that marketeers and brands need to spend more of their time thinking about. Not will consumers reach into their pocket, because we will. We are already used to reaching into our pockets to do something with mobile. We do it every day. And everywhere in the world you can see people who are using mobile for texting into competitions, or using mobile to vote for television programs like Pop Idol or X Factor, if you have versions of those here. We're used to the idea we know how to do it, and so it will work.